For today's cup of coffee, I find this fascinating. This is an archaeological weirdness,
Archaeology?
gruesomeness. Yes,
We're going into that?
we are. We're going into nerd mode
Yeah, we going
because
into
I do that.
mummies.
And this is from Daily
Mummy.
Mail by Jonathan
Mummy.
Chadwick, April the
Mummy.
5th
Mummy.
of
Mummy.
2023.
Mummy.
Yes, and Stewie should have been slapped. Not
Mummy.
just chilled at, but slapped.
Mummy.
Severed human hands. This may actually give me some ideas I probably shouldn't have.
Severed human
human
hands.
hands found in Egypt may have belonged to enemy warriors who were captured around 3,500 years ago, a gruesome new study shows. 12 hands were found, and I'm going to try this, so if I mispronounce it, that means I'm typical. It's
You're doing your best.
Hyksos Palace in northern Egypt's ancient city of Avaris, a former territory of the ancient Hyksos people, and now an archaeological site.
Oh.
That sounds more Japanese than Egyptian.
Yeah,
but anyhow,
just a little bit.
researchers in Germany think the appendages were likely dissected from the right arms of 11 adult males and one female, potentially while they were still alive.
But why?
They hint that's not hard to figure out. It's really not. They hint, hang on, we'll unpack this. They hint at a grisly ceremony that was performed at the palace on the orders of royal members of the dynasty. It's possible they belonged to enemy warriors who were captured before having their hands chopped off and thrown into pits for public display.
Oh, shit.
Taking a hand from
I
an
can see
enemy
that.
became a traditional practice in warfare in the dynasties that followed Hyksos, according to iconographic records. But this is the first physical evidence of the practice. The finds were analyzed by a team of German and Austrian researchers. And in their paper, they said, quote, although this kind of practice is known from tomb or temple inscriptions and reliefs from the New Kingdom onwards, this is the first time that physical evidence has been used to learn more about the procedure and the individuals whose hands were taken, end quote. According to the team, the hands were found in 3 separate pits in what would have been the entrance court of the palace directly in front of the throne room. This particular placement suggests that they were intended to be seen and possibly acted as a gruesome warning for palace visitors.
The fuck?
I'm doing the
It's okay.
And
okay. I got the I got the severe stuffy nose.
it's just crazy because the hands were not all fully intact, and there were some lone fingers. It's not just
Some
me.
lone fingers?
Hey, they had written flingers.
The fuck?
I
Why?
had a spell check.
Spell check. Yeah. Proofread your shit.
The actual,
Not just once, not just twice, but 3
hey,
times.
we're pirate radio with 2.5 mile radius, so that's
Sorry,
the actual
flingers.
number of victims is unclear. Another interesting feature is the lack of any sign of the forearms that the hands were once attached to. This indicates that a level of care was taken in removing any sign of the appendage so that only the anatomical hands would be on display. However, it's impossible to
We
tell.
want to see all the fingers.
It's
all the
impossible to tell
phalanges.
if the hands were taken cleanly off the arms or were cleaned up after the removal procedure. And
How
this
did
is
they
just
do
hitting
them
the high points.
cleanly?
Huh?
How did they do them cleanly?
Well, if they hacked off the arm and then they specifically took off the hand. Now, the fact that it was the right hands and stuff, that's your weapon holding hand. That's your squeezing arm.
My
Invaders
squeezing
in.
arm.
Invaders
My
Zim reference.
squeezing arm.
So that's not.
I can't do his voice.
It's so funny that people today, how delicate people have become.
Yeah.
But this type of practice was sort of common in history. So that was very much a warning to others. It's like, come here. If you come here and act like you're going to be aggressive, if you come in bringing a weapon or whatever, you lose a hand.
You fuck around and find out.
Absolutely fuck around and find out. And that was another thing that was common in the Middle East for quite a while. I don't know that it still is. If somebody was caught stealing, they chopped their hand off. That sort of deterred the practice.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
it certainly would.
and I hate that I don't know how to, as far as the feature of like a slideshow. There are other pictures in the article, but this was just, like I said, hitting the high points.
It's
Something
okay.
that was,
I said it's okay.
something that was disturbing and has become more and more disturbing to me was not the fact that they had the severed hands, but how these articles are written. Because the wokeness within some of the scientific community, some of the ways that these articles are written, that is highly disturbing to me.
Yeah, but you just try to ignore it as much as you can so you can get, like, the actual info.
Right. Well, it shouldn't be that damn hard. Now, I have, for many, many years, read research papers on and off. I mean, I think I started that when I was like a kid, because I was a weird kid. I was always nerd.
Yeah.
So instead of just simply presenting the information, which is what science is supposed to be about, what it's supposed to do, it is not a matter about some kind of an agenda. It is science. We found this. This could mean this, this, and this. Now, more than likely, the way that they're saying that the hands could have been detached from, the arm bones, on the radius on up through there, is because as far as the wrist bones, that those were clean. It's not, if they had been hacked off just at the hand, part of the bones would have been severed, more than likely. So there's a good chance that if they had chopped the hands off above the wrist, and then they could have gone back, and kids giving me this look of disgust because of the subject matter. But now let's face it, that be how they did back in that day. So it would have been not that hard to go through there, remove the tendons, flesh, and the other part of the forearm. Maybe it made a better looking display that way.
That's disturbing.
Sure it is.
As you describe all those parts to me, it's a visceral...
That's because you've never prepared meat before.
And I would prefer not to
it's prepared meat.
I'll just call it meat. I don't want to hear all the tendons and all that shit. That grosses me out. Always has.
Dad hunted.
Ugh.
We raised animals when I was growing up that were for consumption.
No, I get it. Like,
So-
I'm not no vegetarian or vegan,
Right.
but like describing that,
Well, there's really
especially
no...
on a person.
Well, they didn't eat them. They just
I
had
don't
them
care
as a
if
warning.
you cut it.
They said that they didn't know whether the people were alive or dead
Doesn't
when
matter.
the hands
Does it
were
matter?
removed. Yes, it does. Because I would say that more than likely they probably
Does it
were
matter
alive.
when you're describing it?
But the fact that there were so few of them that's what makes me
It
question.
must have been a rare thing.
And it could have been people within the court that they found out had turned traitor or were some kind of plot.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just screwed up really, really bad.
Yeah, it could have just been that. Someone did a royal fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah. So, coffee slurping coming.
It's fine.
So it's not really hard to figure out why that would have been done. I'm surprised that we don't find more things like that. I think it would be most interesting to do some, and they probably have done archaeological digs there where Vlad Tepes, where his battles were fought.
Maybe. I mean,
because how much of that was myth and stuff like that, that he did do these things, and how much, what is the actual historical events of what happened? There's a lot of stuff that we take, that we believe because we are naive and we think that people have told us the truth in history and about history and all that stuff. And
well, that's what I was trying to say, but if whatever the actual truth is, we ain't going to be allowed to find out until like centuries later.
Maybe.
Hundreds of thousands of centuries.
And by that point, it won't even matter.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
But I thought it was pretty cool.
I think it's pretty cool too, but it's just like,
those who...
the tendons.
Those who forget the past are condemned to repeat it. And I think we're seeing a lot of this stuff going on today, which is concerning. It is truly concerning.
I don't see that coming back.
Oh, I do.
I don't.
Really? Have you read what's going on in Mexico with some of these drug cartels?
No, because that's fucking Mexico.
Well, some of the people, that is one of the concerning things. It's not just in Mexico. There's other nations that these things occur in. And when you've got some of these cartels and stuff that go into other nations, they do what they do and they take that with them. So, it's interesting. Humans are humans. And it's like, sometimes they will change their ways, but most times not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's one of those with the... And that's what I was telling you the other day as far as the custom of people, raising their right hand, not just as in a vow to God, but sort of like hello. That shows someone that you're not carrying a weapon. Or it used to.
Well, yeah. Unless they're left-handed.
Right. But correct, I should say. And
left-handed.
there for a long time, people that were left-handed, they thought that they were demonic or something.
Oh,
they did. They really did.
And that's
there was
a bunch
stigma.
Of bullshit.
Sure, it was, but it was a belief during that time. How many things are we believing today that are bullshit?
A lot of things.
Yeah,
that's why I don't believe a lot of that shit.
Oh, question everything.
Yeah.
Question everything. Final comments.
Weird mummified, decapitated hands.
Yeah, well, it was just the bones that was in there. But they didn't even bother to mummify.
Severed hands.
Yeah.
Decapitated hands. Decapitated hands.
Severed. The
severed hands.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I don't think we're coming back to that.
Like
Not our country.
I don't, at this point, I don't even, I mean, we ranging on some Mad Max.
Well, I would prefer to ignore that, so.
Well, I understand that.
Just for the time being.
Let's hope that it doesn't get like that.
Yeah.
If you've had experiences with paranormal or supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, weird, bizarre archaeology, you can send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. And the email address will be there in the description box, as will the link to the article. If you want to go take the time, read how that is written, if you'd like to comment on that publicly or in email private, that's you go right ahead.
Yeah.
That would be a good thing.
Yeah. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all and have a good.
Know that you're loved.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep looking for the weirdness. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Tendons. Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah, the tendons didn't survive.
Ugh.
You may really go into detail
No!
about this.
No!
Ooh.
Medical field does not do well with me.
Listen to him squirm.
Shut up. Ugh. Ew.
We'll see you on the next cup. Bye.
Ew. Bye.